news. The railway signal staff dispute is again affecting the region, with many services cancelled and some lines closed completely. But Intercities say they're intending to open a major new link. Here's our transport correspondent, Alan Whitehouse.
Intercity and Railtrack say they can create a through route between London, Yorkshire, the North East and Scotland for the first time since the dispute began more than 9 weeks ago. A non-union supervisor has been trained to operate a key signalling panel at Sheffield, allowing Intercity to run a combination of shuttle trains to Derby, Sheffield and Doncaster, and then York, Newcastle and Edinburgh. It's uncertain how many passengers will use the service, because it'll mean using up to 3 trains to reach London. But opening the route up amounts to a major propaganda victory for Railtrack and a further blow to the morale of the signalmen.
By 7 wickets. And that's it from us so far this morning. There's no problems reported at this early hour on the roads. Drive carefully, won't you? Have a good day. Our next regional summary will be at 7:25, if you can stay with us till then. Here's the weather forecast. Not too bad today. It's a little cloudy at first this morning, then it'll become dry and bright with plenty of sunshine. Top temperatures feeling pleasant in a light southerly wind, around 19 Celsius, that's 66 Fahrenheit. The time on BBC One is 7 o'clock, and that's time for Breakfast News.
Good morning from Sara and me. It's 7 o'clock on Monday, the 15th of August. The headlines: signalmen have walked out at the start of the 10th national rail strike. Railtrack says this 48-hour stoppage is a callous attack on the railways. The RMT says the employers are trying to get something for nothing. As students riot on the streets of Seoul, the South Korean president offers to help North Korea replace its nuclear technology if it opens its facilities for inspection. And Labour claims Rosyth Dockyard could become a dumping ground for nuclear submarines under leaked government plans.
Also in BBC Breakfast News, preparing for privatisation. As the rail strike continues, we ask what effect the dispute is having on plans to sell off the industry. And the Cambodian kidnappers, why the Khmer Rouge is reduced to seizing foreigners to secure funding. Plus, Zimbabwe's Nick Price becomes the first golfer to win successive majors for more than a decade.
Railtrack claim there'll be more trains running today than there have been on any previous strike day, but hopes of bringing the dispute to an end remain as bleak as ever. Yesterday's newspapers carried advertisements from Railtrack accusing the RMT union of a callous attack on the railways and calling on them to put an end to this madness. The RMT leader, Jimmy Knapp, said the advertisements were misleading and an attempt to bully his members. The two sides have no talks planned, and a further 24-hour strike is due on August the 22nd.
As the strike deadline approached, it was no time to be missing the train. The dispute, now in its 10th week, has become a battle for public support, and the Transport Secretary has cancelled his holiday abroad. Both in newspaper advertisements and on the platforms, Railtrack has been putting heavy pressure on the signal workers to accept a deal. But although passengers find the strikes frustrating, with no end in sight, some still sympathise with the signal workers.
I think it's an absolute disgrace, both on the part of the government and Railtrack, for interfering in the beginning in the dispute. I think we could have had a settlement many weeks ago had they listened and not vetoed the 5.7%, which was possibly a reasonable offer.
I think it's childish in a way, because I feel they're wasting more money, because they're losing more money, not striking, they're losing more money than they will if they were to pay up how much they were supposed to pay up the workers. I think they should sit down and talk about it and get something going, because all this strike, it's not getting anybody anywhere.
Railtrack says it hopes, in conjunction with British Rail, to run about 1/3 of normal services, the largest number of lines it's been able to make available on any of the strike days so far. Joe Paley, BBC News.
Clerical staff working for Midland Bank are being urged to vote for industrial action.